It took a long time for me to like try and snap out of this never-ending chase towards pleasure and the need to resist pain. Why do we need to resist everything and chase everything and cling to things? Isn't it easier to just allow everything to be exactly as it is? Eventually we just want to come to a place to allow ourselves to be found by the seeking. It's not a bad place to be. Not a bad place to be at all. But I think finding peace in life is so easy when we understand the process of not being in peace. Not being in peace means that we are resisting something in the present moment all the time. So resistance is really the enemy, if you want to label it as such. I don't want to say that it's an enemy because it's not something that we need to exterminate. It's actually something that we need to remain open to. Even the resistance, we need to learn to let go of the resistance towards. So what I have found is to simply allow everything to be exactly as it is. And it's going to be quite difficult, I think, for a lot of people. And it's going to take some, I mean, it was very difficult for me as well. It took a long time for me to like try and snap out of this never-ending chase towards pleasure and the need to resist pain. Because I believe that pain was dangerous to me. I mean, emotional pain, mental pain, that is. Nothing that comes from the inside is able to harm us, ever. Unless it's a disease, of course. But even disease arises from resistance to life. So if we can learn this simple principle that pain is supposed to be there for us to be able to open up to it. If we can relax into our pain, if we can learn to observe our pain and realize that I'm not the pain, I'm not the pleasure, I'm not the high vibe emotions, I'm not the low vibe emotions, I'm the one experiencing all of this. I'm experiencing life. I'm having an experience. And resistance happens when we deny experience. So the secret to remaining peaceful in life, or at ease is probably a better word, is to just allow ourselves to open up to it. Open up to the fact that we are human. We will experience pain. We will experience pleasure. But there's no need for us to try and escape the pain, resist the pain, or to try and prolong the pleasure. Like we have a little bit of pleasure coming into our life and it's like, oh, I need this, I need more of this. Why? We've had pleasure in the past. We will have it again in the future. Why do we need to chase it? Can't we just be happy when it arrives? Like, oh, pleasure, cool. And there it goes. Isn't that so much more like curious and exciting as well? Remaining open, and then when pleasure arrives, it's like, oh, cool, great, thank you. And then we just go along as if nothing has happened, right? Why do we need to resist everything and chase everything and cling to things? Isn't it easier to just allow everything to be exactly as it is? That's what I have found, at least. I mean, and it makes my life way easier to live. It becomes an adventure then, because we're like open to reality and whatever it offers us, right? It's like, okay, I'm gonna disagree with whatever I'm getting here. I'm disagreeing with life right here, and it feels good. It feels really good. And I don't really need to do anything else than that, than to just agree with things. It doesn't mean that I stay in places where I'm experiencing a lot of pain. It means that I might put down some boundaries every once in a while. It means that I'm not going to be some doormat for people to walk over, of course. But it just means that, okay, this is pain, cool. I'm going to remove myself from this situation, and whenever pain arrives next time, I'll be open to it. It's okay. And so after I have learned to do this, to not resist pain and to chase pleasure, presence is just so much easier to just maintain, because we don't feel like we need to be anywhere else than here. If pain is here, I'm okay with that. If pleasure is here, I'm okay with that. If they're not here, I'm okay with that. And so there's no need for me to be on this never-ending chase or to seek something else than what's already here. And being a seeker as well, I've been a seeker my entire life, and I know that is like, obviously it can lead to a lot of good things, like seeking more understanding and wisdom and all of that in life, which can take us further into our own journey about who we are, which is great. But eventually we have to give up that seeking as well. Eventually we just want to come to a place to allow ourselves to be found by the seeking. I'm gonna say that again. We want to come to a place to allow ourselves to be found by the activity in our mind that is seeking something. We want to be found by that activity. We want to stop expecting that I need to seek something else than what's already inside of me. So when I simply allow myself to be found by my own activity in my mind that is seeking something external in the world, that is in reality actually what we're seeking. We're seeking ourselves, but the mind cannot look in that direction. The mind is conditioned to look in the external world from past conditioning and like beliefs about what happiness is and what fulfillment is supposed to be. And so when we get stuck in this seeker archetype, we will be stuck in this escapism resisting type of behavior when it comes to pain and the chasing, grasping, clinging to pleasure. And it takes us out of the present moment. And if this is what it means to be spiritual, then okay, cool. But I see it as just becoming me, as I'm supposed to be, as I used to be when I was a kid. And I don't need to be anything else than that. I cannot add anything to that. I don't need to change anything about that. I don't need to take away anything about that. I just need to be here and now. And just here, right? It's not a bad spot. But that's a little bit of a share this morning, observing the ocean at Majorca. And I'm happy that you're watching. Subscribe if you want to, like and comment as well. And I'll see ya. Bye.